Hey, sixth grade. So let's move on to interquartile range. Interquartile range sounds like a big complicated word, but break it up. You know what range is. Range is the distance between anything, right? So if you're thinking in math, it's the distance between numbers. So what's the range between 10 and 2? Take a second to think. The range between 10 and 2. The range between 10 and 2 is 8 because there's 8 numbers between 10 and 2. To figure that out, we subtract. So what is the range between 10 and 30? Take a second to think. What's the range between 10 and 30? The range between 10 and 30 is 20, because there's 20 numbers between 10 and 30, and we figured that out by subtracting. So interquartile range is the range, how far away the numbers are, of your quartiles. Your quartiles are Q1 and Q3. So all we're going to be doing is finding the range, using subtraction, of Q1 and Q3, interquartile range. So here we go. All right, so first thing is you want the numbers to be in order. They already are, so let's move on. To find the median, also known as Q2, we find the center. We do that by crossing off one at the beginning, one at the end. One at the beginning, one at the end, and I keep going until I'm left with just one or two values. There is my, when I'm done, I circle it. There is my median, or Q2. So I'm going to put 13. Okay. My median splits the data in half. So I have half of the data at the beginning, bracket, half of the data at the end, bracket. So now I do the same process, cross out, cross out, cross out, cross out, but only in the first half and in the second half. Okay. So for Q1, I'm focusing only on the first half because it's my first quartile. And I go again, cross out one at the beginning, one at the end. I'm left with two numbers in the center. I can't cross both of them out. So now I'm thinking, what is the center of 5 and 6? What is the center or the median, the middle of 5 and 6? That's 5.5. Okay, I keep going. Now for Q3, I do the same thing, cross off one at the beginning, one at the end. I am left with 16 and 18. I can't cross both of them out. So what is the middle number between 16 and 18? 17. Okay, so for interquartile range, or IQR, it's a range, so we subtract. And we subtract the quartiles. So 17 minus 5.5. So for IQR, I am doing Q3 minus Q1. So I'm going to work up here. My Q3 is 17 minus 5.5. Line up my decimals. 0 minus 5 can't do it. Borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. Decimal comes down. 6 minus 5 is 1. Bring down the 1. So that's 11.5. So my IQR for the first set is 11.5. Okay? If you want to pause the video here and try this next one, you can. And let's keep going. All right, so glad you're back. Hopefully you paused it and tried it on your own. Let's check. First, numbers are in order. Done. Second, you want to find the middle, the median. So cross off one at the beginning, one at the end. One at the beginning, one at the end. One at the beginning, one at the end. I am left with 30. There is my median. My median splits my data in half. 50% of the data, or half of the data at the beginning, half of the data at the end. Okay, so to find my Q1 and Q3, I'm only focusing on the first half, or if it's Q3, a second half of the data. So here I go, Q1. Once again, cross out one at the beginning, one at the end. I am left with 25 in the center, so 25 is my Q1, or quartile 1, my median for the first half of the data. All right, for Q3, moving on, I'm only focusing on the second half. So cross out one at the beginning, one at the end. I am left with 45. So 45 has to be my Q3, or my median for the upper half of the data, the upper 50%. Okay, last step for IQR is really easy. All we're doing is subtracting Q3 from Q1. So for IQR, remember, we're just subtracting the quartiles because we're finding the range, how far apart they are. So 45 and 25. 45 and 25. What is the range between those numbers? And the range between those numbers is 20. So my IQR, or interquartile range, is 20. Great job. Boom. Done.